it's Ariana Greenblatt, and this is my 10-minute beauty routine. So I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, so I'm super ready. Let's get started. First, I start with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, shade 4. I basically kind of use this as my foundation, even though it's really not, but I just put it all over. So this is my everyday look. I feel like I keep my skincare pretty simple. I'm scared my skin will break out, and I feel like it's pretty sensitive. I used to dance, so my mom would do like crazy dance competition makeup on me when I was young. Okay, so I used just a wet Pop Beauty Blender. I love this so much. It is so soft, and it just like really gets in there. Okay, next. My go-to concealer, I love this concealer so much, is the NARS Creamy Concealer in shade Medium 1, Custard. I feel like I've put a lot of my friends onto this concealer because it gives enough coverage, but it's not so heavy. And I hate when things are just like far too heavy on my face. So yeah, I kind of just put them in like under my eyes, under my nose, and I have a couple friends on my forehead because, of course, so I'm covering those too. Great. Also, wait, trick? Beauty tip hack. I'm about to do this. If you think your concealer is running out, especially this one, you see this little like black rim, like filter thing on the top? Take it out. Use your teeth or tweezers or something, because it's literally like double the amount of concealer in there and you don't have to throw it out and waste it. So literally just remove that and you have like a month worth of product left. It's fantastic. Anywho, so when I put concealer on, I want it to like sit on my face for a few minutes, so I go into my brows. So let's do that as we wait. I use the Kosas brow pencils. I believe I am shade medium brown, and I have always had pretty full brows, so I feel like I've spent like the last few years kind of shaping them how I want, and I like them to look pretty natural, but I always keep the fullness and like the fluffiness of them, but I've definitely like straightened them out. But I don't really spend too much time on them, especially if it's my 10-minute beauty routine. Okay, next, to kind of set them in place so they don't move all around, because my hairs have a mind of their own, I use the Anastasia Brow Freeze Wax, and I just take a spoolie and just brush them. Keep it pretty simple. I'm gonna go back. Actually, I'm gonna use a brush. I never use a brush, and I feel like I always use a sponge when it comes to blending out my concealer, but we're gonna experiment today, because why not? And then on the top, for like the little touch-up spots, I just use my hand. Okay, I feel like that's fine. I feel like this is probably out of steps with like what I should be doing, but I take a translucent powder. I really haven't found like a powder that I love so much, but today we will be trying the Fenty one. Also, I'm in New York, and some of you know I live in LA, so of course when I'm packing. Oh, story time. So I finished junior year of high school literally the day I flew here, so I started doing homework because I procrastinate really bad. It's my biggest talent. But I started doing my homework at 7 p.m. and I stayed up 12 hours until 7 a.m. and my flight, I was getting picked up at 8 a.m. Don't even ask, but I packed like 30 minutes before I was supposed to leave, and of course I did not pack the makeup I needed. Duh, of course, why would I? So yeah, my sleep schedule, greatness, so good right now. And I'm really just packing a little bit on underneath my eyes so it doesn't crease, and then kind of on my chin, slightly around my nose, and then like this T-zone area. Next, I'm going in with my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I love these wands. I use so many of them, but I feel like I'm just gonna start here. I always build on my contours with like different shades and stuff. I feel like I haven't mastered my contour skills yet, but we'll see. I've learned all of my makeup stuff from my mom, and then obviously most recently my makeup artist. I feel like on set, because I do my makeup so much, I'm kind of like, hey, this is how I like to do it. So next step, just to kind of warm up my face and depthen. Depthen is a new word, I made it up. My contour and kind of the vibe, I use the Rare Beauty stick. I believe the shade Happy Soul. And I just put it kind of literally in the same exact areas. I use this a little higher up because it will blend into my blush. So next up, I use blush. I use multiple blushes, sometimes literally 4. But today, I dialed it down to 2. I have the Westman Atelier Cream Stick Blush and then the YSL Cheek and Tint. I love this so much. But first, we're starting off with this. I like warming it up on the back of my hand and kind of, I feel like I have way more control that way than just kind of putting the stick right on the face. Also, I use my fingers for the blush. I feel like it just melts better. And I kind of put it exactly where I had the Rare Beauty Contour Bronzing Stick. And I do that, and I let it sit, and I'll probably go in and blend it some more. But this is definitely the peachier tones of my blushes, which fits for the summer vibe. And after I do that, I go in with my wet sponge just to kind of put it more into the skin so it doesn't look too harsh off the bat. Okay, and next we're gonna go in with the Lip and Cheek Balmy Tint YSL. This is definitely the more like plummy purple tones of my blush. And this one's definitely a more glowy kind of formula. Now that I kind of put both blushes on, I want to focus on my nose contour. Now my nose contour is like my staple. So if I mess this up, which I have been weirdly, I've been off my nose contour game, but pray for me, wish for the best. I use the Victoria Beckham contour stick. My nose contour thing actually happened very mistakenly. I accidentally like put a circle line on my nose. I don't know what, but I was like, wait, that actually looks good. So I'm just gonna use a tiny little like flat brush and make a line right above my nose and right underneath. So I put kind of a line above and below, and then I kind of make a very light line here. New York City. And then I'm gonna take a fluffy round brush and lightly just kind of blend everything. I take it down so instead of going up, because then it kind of defeats the illusion. And I used to make my nose contour extremely harsh. Who's gonna tell her, like literally. I wouldn't blend it. And you know, I believe it's a canon event to not blend your nose contour, but it was 2020, 2021. So what do you want me to do? Okay. So now that I did the cream, I'm gonna go over it with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in shade 4 powder. And I kind of go with the same shape of the brushes, just kind of fluffier and less dense because I don't want it to be too harsh. But I take it and I tap the rest off, and I literally just go over the same exact spot. And don't worry, it looks crazy. Trust the process. This is the Crystal Nebula is the shade. And I literally will lightly put right here, kind of where my cheek naturally connects with the lighting. Now I'm gonna do some fake freckles. I'm a liar. I don't have freckles, unfortunately. I wish I did. I think they are so, so cute. I use Nabla Freckle Maker. And I love this one because it doesn't dry too fast, so you have time to like move it around. Sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, I get too excited and jump into lips, but that's just like wrong ordering. So I'm gonna do my eyes. But recently, I've been loving this About Face mascara. I don't know, it's a vibe. I mix multiple sometimes. Sometimes I like layer 2 or 3. Also my tip, get it on your eyelid. It's fine, it'll dry, it'll flake off, but get it on your eyelid. I'm gonna wipe as much as I can off. Now, for my lip routine. So recently, I've been using this CoverGirl Outlast lip stain. It's in 65 Natural Blush. It's so random. I like found this somewhere in my house and I just tried it on and it was great. So I line my lips first with this. I am a big fan of overlining. I feel like I always have been. And then my holy grails, my lip liners. I've been using the Makeup Forever lip liner, but I recently also discovered this Dose of Colors lip liner, and this is great. They're always a very deep brown, definitely more on the cool side. Obviously looks incredibly dramatic. I always take my finger and blend the two together. I'm gonna take my holy grail. I think this is 608 Limitless Brown. I feel like I've raved about this liner for so long. And again, I have constant blending motions. And then when I get to this point of my routine, I'm like, okay, I kind of slapped everything on. Now I'm gonna go in and enhance the contour, a little bit of blush, probably go in with more mascara, and then I just fine tune things. And then I have a separate brush that's basically the same one, but I put blush on it as well. And this is my vibe. Okay, you guys, this is my final look. This was very fun. Thank you so much, Allura, for watching. This was my 10-minute beauty routine, and I hope you enjoyed.